Welcome to your Science Lab Equipment and Lab Safety Quiz. This quiz is about your knowledge about the equipment we'll be using in class and the safety of lab procedures. What is the correct name of this equipment? Is it a test tube holder, a scoopula, or beaker crucible tong? Test tube holder, scoopula, or tongs? What is the correct job of this equipment? Hold a single test tube when it's hot, used to crush solids, or used to move powders from one container to another. Which piece of equipment's purpose is to hold solids by being weighed? So it's to hold something while it's being weighed. Scoopula, digital balance, weight boat. What is the main purpose of a graduated cylinder? What's its job? For pouring liquids, for measuring volume, or for measuring mass? According to the written instructions and your teacher's demonstration, one of the chemicals you are using in the lab can irritate your skin. Before working with this chemical, you need to put on goggles to protect your eyes, put on gloves to protect your hands, put on an apron. All of the above need to be followed. Choose one answer. What equipment is used to hold liquids that need to be swirled around or have been filtered? It has a cone and triangular shape, wide bottom with a narrow top. Here's the picture. Is this picture of a beaker, graduated cylinder, or Erlenmeyer flask? What is this picture of? Beaker, graduated cylinder, or an Erlenmeyer flask? Which lab equipment tool would you use to measure exactly 4 milliliters of water? This 50 milliliter graduated cylinder, this 250 milliliter flask, or this test tube? Which one would you be able to read 4 milliliters of water? You learned that if a chemical reaction happened during the heating, there could be a change in the odor of the materials. Your partner moves materials directly under his nose. You need to remind him to put on his goggles first. Make sure to inhale deeply so he can tell the difference in smells. Waft. Do not breathe in fumes or wear an apron before he smells anything in the lab. Miss Vines needs to move baking soda from the box to the weight boats so students can measure it. What piece of equipment should she use? A stirring rod, a scoopula, or a funnel? She's going to be moving baking soda to a weight boat. What do I need to use? Okay, use the picture in the graduated cylinder. What is the volume of the liquid? So remember, we're reading the meniscus at eye level. It pulls it up for you here, makes it right here where you can see it. Is it 67 centimeters, 67 milliliters, or 68 milliliters? Which of the following must be avoided? Means not to happen. Avoided. We don't want it to happen. Notifying the teacher immediately in the event of an emergency. Cleaning equipment and work area completely before leaving the lab. Removing chemicals or equipment from the lab. Lily has a broken glass beaker in your group. She's unsure what to do. What is the correct procedure? So Lily broke a beaker. It's made of glass. What should she do? Pick up the glass and put it in the trash. Tell the teacher with a note on her desk. Tell teacher, sweep up the glass in the dustpan and put it in the glass box. What is the correct procedure for detecting odors in the lab? Use your hand to waft vapors towards your nose and take only shallow sniffs. Tasting is safer than smelling, or never smell anything in the lab. I need to add a very small amount of water to a penny at a time to see how much water tension it can hold. What equipment would be best used for this task to add a small amount of water? A graduated cylinder, a funnel, or a pipette? If you do not understand a direction or a part of lab procedure, you should figure it out as you do the lab, Try several methods until something works. Ask the instructor before proceeding. So ask the teacher before proceeding. Try several methods until something works. Figure it out as you do the lab. Annalie and Avery were using the hot plate. Avery accidentally burned her finger. It's just a small burn. She ran cold water on it, then finished the lab and went to her next class. What rule did she not follow? No horseplay in the lab. Report all accidents, big or small. Ask your teacher if you do not understand directions. Use the picture below to measure the volume in a graduated cylinder. A student needs 22 milliliters of water from an experiment. How much additional water must the student add to the graduated cylinder shown below to reach 22 milliliters? So you have to first read the meniscus line, figure out how much water is there first, and then tell me how many more to add to get it to 22. How many more do we need to get it up here to 22? 7, 8, or 9? Xavier and Yin are working on a lab that uses a substance that looks like marshmallows. Yin tells Xavier that she's going to eat one. What is the best statement to persuade Yin not to eat the substance? Though you think this is a marshmallow, you don't know for sure. The substance could be harmful or toxic. Yin, you're going to get in trouble if you eat the substance. I will not say anything if you eat the marshmallow. I'm your friend. A student, while performing a lab with an open flame, had on a baggy shirt. The sleeve of the shirt caught on fire. What is the first thing you should do? Calmly get the fire blanket and wrap the student tightly and quickly. Get the fire extinguisher and aim the nozzle directly toward the flame. Hurry the students to the safety shower and once under the nozzle, pull the lever. Gentry and Layton were found far from their lab group. They were shooting rubber bands from another lab group's supplies at their friends. They left Olivia and Emma to do all the work. What rules did they break? So this is a checkbox, and it says rules, so it's choose more than one answer. No unauthorized experiments. No horseplay. Read all the directions and instructions before beginning a lab. Do your fair share of lab work. Share responsibilities for all lab duties. Safety goggles are required in the lab when? Working with heat or chemicals. Anytime the teacher tells you. C, all of the above. Jaden and Hanley missed breakfast this morning. It was lab day, but they brought in second breakfast anyway. They hid their food in bags, but drank their juice from some extra beakers. What rules did they break? Check all that apply. You're never supposed to eat or drink during a lab. You should always share with your classmates. You should always eat breakfast to have a good day. You should never use lab equipment for food or drink. Rebecca is trying to find the volume of a liquid. She holds up the graduated cylinder above her head towards the light so she can see better. How should Rebecca read the meniscus line to find the volume? She should put it down on the floor and look down so she sees above the line. The graduated cylinder should be on a flat surface and she should be at eye level to read. Whatever method works best for a scientist to see the lines closely is the best method.